This is Wake the F Up podcast.
F is for fabulous.
I'm Andy Dooley.
And I'm Kat Torres. Wake the F Up is all about celebrating the great drama of life, the beauty and the brutality. And
tapping into your true divinity, your creativity, because you are the universe pretending to be human.
It's fabulous. The whole idea is to get free, right?
Hello. Welcome back to Wake the F Up Live with Dooley and Dawes.
Wake the F Up. Fabulously. Thanks for having us again, Andy Dooley. How's your moment been?
My moments have been magical because I am living in the now.
Oh my goodness. Stop it. Me too.
Woohoo. Are you living in the now, listening to us?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Today's topic, Andy, it's a good one.
Yes, detaching from your desires.
No, do we have to?
Yes, and we're going to show you how I detach. Kat's going to share how she detaches, because it's one of those things where, you know, that attachment to a desire can actually prevent it from ever showing up in your life.
Yes. I'm going to put the word straight out on the table, and that is big fat word. If this word had a point system to it, it'd be a big 10-pointer. The word is trust. Hashtag trust. The only reason why you could ever detach from your desires is if you trust that the universe is going to hand it to you on a silver platter eventually.
Yeah, that trusting, like developing that trusting of, you know, like we're so confident that the sun is going to rise tomorrow, that we're going to wake up tomorrow, and that trust, that knowing that it's working, the planet is spinning and we're here, we're breathing, like that kind of trust where you know you've asked and it has been given.
You know, there's an old saying that I don't know where it comes from, but it is that what you want wants you. And I feel like when I tune into that statement that what I want wants me, right, then I can have a little bit of a cooling of the jets. I can actually step into a little bit more trust. Like if that is true, that what I want wants me, then it means that I'm actually I'm in the flow of life. I am part of the universal harmony. There is a song inside of me that wants to be sung in the same way that orange trees yield oranges. Inside of us, inside of our own, like, very unique vibrational soul signature, we are loaded and coded with some sort of fruit, some sort of talent, a capacity that wants to express through us. And if we allow ourselves to feel into that is a natural flowering of what wants to happen through and as us, then I think the bigger task at hand is to get out of the way.
Get out of the way. So we're going to talk about that today. A couple things that I made some notes about, you know, detaching from your desires. So this is a quick list. You know, remember, whatever you want, you're really always after the feeling, not necessarily the thing. And when you create a vision and vibe, hand it over to your higher self. Your higher self is definitely can see more and can see it even better than you can. Another really big thing, I'm going to share a story about this. Don't care if it shows up. And that's a tricky place to get to because you want it. And then you got to say, well, I don't care if it shows up.
I do care if it shows up, Andy. Tell me how I can possibly not care about it showing up or not. Come on.
Right. So how to not care, I'm going to share the story with you. And remembering this phrase, this is a Tony Robbins quote, but it's so good. The past does not equal the future. Too often we're caught up in the past and thinking, well, the past is just going to come into my present moment again and I can't break free from the past. But no, who you've been in the past is past. The past doesn't equal the future, so that can give you that confidence that, yes, you can manifest this. You've asked and it has been given.
Yes, you know, there is a real surrender at hand, you know, to really not care whether or not the desires turns up. I mean, that's a bombshell, Andy. You know, like how do you possibly not care. And this is, I want to acknowledge everybody out there who's got a big, fat, scary desire that sort of keeps you up at night and it haunts you on a daily basis, where you just want it so bad and you're so worried about it not happening. Like, I see you, and it's really, I want to acknowledge, first of all, that our desires are a part of the evolutionary pool of progression, that if it wasn't for the fact that we desire things, nothing would happen. You know, like we have a creative responsibility, actually, because we've been given this incredible universal currency known as your attention, that we are in an evolutionary pool. Like, we have these desires. So now the desire and the little bit of ache is what makes us lean forwards. But this piece that Andy's really sharing here about detaching from the desires is what I call the art of nowism. It's the art of manifestation. It is the art of using universal law in a way that where you are a cooperative component to this divine design, and that you don't accidentally block what's going on. Tell them how to do it, Andy.
This detaching, I've got a story that I think is great just to share a story about detaching. And I know this is a story some of my subscribers or IPPs might have heard before, but it's just that reminder of four words that are so important in the art of detaching. And it's feeling first, manifestation second. And when we really learn that it is an emotional journey and that we've got to be more conscious of how we're feeling moment to moment, day to day, and we got to be working on our emotions and gratitude and appreciation, it just makes everything so much easier. So years ago, when I used to live in Florida, I was doing a do-it-yourself home project, installing new shelves in my home office. I made a mess. I put holes where I shouldn't have put holes for the shelving unit. It was a disaster. So I was like, okay, I got to fix this. And all I need is touch-up paint and spackling, and I can get on with my day. So I go out into the garage, and I'm looking for the touch-up paint and the spackling, and I can't find it, and I can't find it. I'm looking everywhere. I know I have touch-up paint and spackling. Can't find it anywhere. And I notice as the longer I look and the more I can't find it, the more a story starts to develop. I can't find it. Where is it? I know it's around here. Where did I put it? I'm so stupid. It should be right here, but it's not. Who moved it? Where did it go? Right? I've got a story going, and I start to create negative emotion. You know, I look everywhere in the house, and I can't find the paint. I can't find the paint. And then I can feel my emotions are just out of whack. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to check in. I need to let go of the ache. I need to stop focusing on the lack. I need to focus on finding it. I need to tell a different story. So right now in your life, do you have something that you're aching for, that you're looking for, that you're caught in a negative story? It's not going to work. They don't like me. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to go dead. I'm going to be living out of a van like Kat's story from last podcast. You know, stop that negative story. Get out of it. And yes. I stopped in the middle of me being, I can't find the paint. I can't find the paint. And I took a deep breath in the middle of my garage where I was looking for the paint. And I took a few deep breaths and dropped in. I could hear the angels singing. And I heard a voice. It called out to me. It said, Andy, if you want to find the paint, you have to feel like you've already found the paint. I was like, what? That defies, right, how we live as humans. I was like, okay. And I heard the voice again. I was like, okay, the voice is right. If I want to find the paint, I have to feel like I have already found the paint. So right now in your life, if you want abundance, you have to feel like you have abundance. If you want to heal, you have to feel like you're healing or healed. If you want the new job, the business, the career, you have to feel like you were already living it. So then I thought, okay, I've got to right now change the story. I got to change my energy radically. I got to do 180. So I thought, all right, I have a background in improv comedy and acting. I'm just going to tell a new story. That's right. I'm going to tell a new story of how I found the paint. That's right. I'm going to act it out like I found the paint. And then, so I said, all right, I challenged myself to do it for 68 seconds for a couple minutes. And then I just started dancing around the garage. I found the paint. I found the paint. I found the paint. I'm dancing around like I found the paint. I'm telling the story like I found the paint. And after about 2 minutes, I was winded. I was out of breath, and I was like blissful. I was so happy, like genuinely happy, because energy creates emotion, right? Motion creates emotion. And now I was happy. And here's a part about detachment. I now felt so good because I had told the story. I no longer cared if I found the paint. I was detached. I don't even care about this paint. I feel so good right now. And while I was dancing around saying, I found the paint, I told the story of how I found the paint in the washing machine, which was just totally made up. And so now I'm finished. Now I feel great. I'm detached from the paint. Now I got to go back into my office and finish up the day. I don't know where the paint is. I'll buy it on the weekend. And as I was walking back to the office, I walked past the laundry room. And I thought, hey, you should check the washing machine. I mean, it's ridiculous, but let me check the washing machine. So I go into the laundry room and I check the washing machine, and it's not in there. So I thought, well, maybe it's in the dryer. I checked the dryer. It's not in the dryer. I was like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm still feeling great. I don't know where the paint is. Who cares? As I'm walking out of the laundry room, the voice says, look in the cabinet. And I'm like, huh? So I looked in the cabinet above the washing machine, and there's some rags and shoe polish, and there's a soup can. And I'm like, the soup can doesn't belong in here. I grab it, and then I notice the soup can isn't soup. It's the can of paint that I was looking for. And I'm like, I found the paint. I did it. And it literally, I was guided to the paint. I was on the bitch train. I got on the bliss train by telling a different story, and I found the paint. So it's always feeling first, manifestation second. And you get so good at feeling it in advance. That's how you detach from your desires. And that takes intention and effort and playfulness. Yes.
Right. You know, the detachment piece it's tricky when you really want something, but I feel like although you were practicing finding the paint, right, and you're actually practicing the feeling of the victory, what really happened is that you just dropped the whole like stress around it, and the energy of your play, your energy of just moving in a new direction actually made you a better condition to find the paint. That's why you had the intuition. And so when it comes to detaching from desires, everybody, I would really recommend check in with your desire meter. Like when you really want something, check in with how much you want it. Like, do you have an ache around that? Do you have a little bit of volume around I got to, should, must have this thing? And if you're at that level where you're gripping so deeply onto getting the thing, that's the warning flags. That's when you should hear your little sirens going off to just soften your grip. Let it go a little bit. Let it go. And watch then how the shift in your energy makes you a new condition, and then it's highly likely you'll find the paint.
Yes, you will find it. It's the law. It is. How many times to our listeners have you wanted something? Like I remember one of my clients, she really wanted to manifest a husband, and she was doing all the websites and all the dating apps, and she finally just got to a point where after a dozen dates with guys that just weren't lining up with her, she said, forget it. I'm done. I'm going to be single for the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that. And then a week later, she met her husband.
Boom. So rad. I love that. I love how simple it can be. I love that. And this is where friends out there who are listening to wake the F up, to actually cultivate a relationship with the divine, and to actually establish a level of trust in your life that it's actually all working for you and it is against you. We need to find ways to soften the urgency to create whatever it is that you're wanting to create. The urgency is what blocks things. And so, but if you knew right now that you are being held by a divine design that is actually celebrating the uniqueness of who you are and what you came here to do, that just as an orange tree yields oranges, that you too have a fruit inside of you that's going to express. If you could just trust the divinity that's actually in every iota of your being, and just know that you are fueled and funded by the divine, and that through divine timing, and this is another one of those trust pieces, divine timing, you will rendezvous with what you need as you need it. Your job is to keep offering the ease and the flow and the play so that you can actually be the condition, give the universe something to work with. You know, the ache and this urgency and the lack of trust that what you want is going to manifest is such a block towards things happening for you. The other reason also, as a little sort of like extra little side order here, the other reason that detaching is such a good idea is that, you know, the universe actually knows more about what you could create than you do. I learned this in a very humble way, where I'd been trying to manifest things for so long regarding nowism and you know, having my dream come true. And I really thought it should be in a certain way with certain people, you know, and it puts this pressure on everything. There's a stress in the field, you know, but through actually softening all of that and just actually give it up, just give it up. Allow the universe to put you in the right place and the right timing with the right people, and allow it's quite often, this is my point here, Annie, is that your thing that you think you want will flower into something more exceptional. The universe knows more about your possibilities and your potential than you do. And so when we cultivate the relationship with the universe, and we practice trust, and we practice the worthiness also that we're allowed to thrive and that something wonderful is happening, and be in the adventure of the unknown instead of the urgency of the unknown, then you will be put in the right place at the right time. You'll find out what you need to know as you need to know it. And it's highly likely that the dream that you wanted to see made manifest will flower into something even more exceptional than what you think you could get in the first place.
Flowering into something even more amazing. I love that phrase. And another story I have of kind of, you know, manifesting and just getting into the flow and having fun with manifesting and not trying so hard to make it happen was, you know, I love collecting feathers. You know, I take a walk around my neighborhood. I love to find feathers, bird feathers. It's kind of like a reminder from my mom. My angels are with me. And I remember thinking, you know, I find in all these regular size kind of feathers that would fit in the palm of your hand. And I was like, I want to find some big feathers. Yeah. And, you know, I just love feathers. And so I'm putting it out to the universe. I want to find feathers. I'm finding feathers. I'm telling the story of how I found feathers. And I remember one weekend I went on a hike and I was looking for feathers and I found no feathers at all. And I was like, it's okay. It's okay. I know they're out there. I know the feathers are coming. And so another week goes by and I'm looking for feathers and I'm not finding any feathers. And then, you know, I'm light about the desire, but I still want to find these bigger feathers. And so the following Monday comes around, and Monday I had a routine. This was about a year ago maybe, of going to the gym and working out Monday evenings. And I love going to the gym and working out. It was so much fun to go to the gym and work out. But on this Monday evening, every cell in my body said, don't go work out. Go to this lake and take a walk around the lake. That's going to be your workout. I'm like, okay. So like I surrendered to the guidance and I go take a walk around this lake. And as I'm walking around the lake is very dry. We a year ago, we had a drought here. And so like the water level in the lake is shrunken down. Like you can literally walk out onto the lake. And so I had this impulse to take this trail, the path less traveled. And all of a sudden I find myself kind of walking around on this lake bed. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. This is such a different experience. Like I'm walking in a lake. And then I walk around and I'm like, so this is so cool. And I'm like, all right, it's time to walk back and get on the main trail. And as I was walking back to get on the main trail, all of a sudden there are dozens of feathers everywhere. Feathers galore. I hit the jackpot of feathers, big feathers, little feathers, blue feathers, red feathers. I'm like, what happened? Was this like a bird fest here or something? It was amazing. Yes.
Wow, what like I love that you rendezvoused with the big feathers. What color are these feathers?
They were gray and blue and black and white, and they were seagull feathers, and they were other bird feathers, big birds. And I was just like, look, I did it. I found my feathers.
That's so good. I love that your mum and the ideas sphere would have been giving you a little standing ovation.
Yes, my mom definitely giving me that standing ovation. And I remember another time I was really detached when I was an actor in Orlando, Florida, and I was a professional actor. I had an agent. I'd go on auditions, and I would say 90% of the auditions I didn't book. But every once in a while, when I really didn't care about booking the audition, I would book the audition. And I remember there's this one commercial. It was so ridiculously dumb. I told the casting director I had to get back to work, and can he cut me in line? Like, he literally cut me in front of all these actors. And then I auditioned with this other guy who was like the Hulk, and he picked me up and put me over his head and then put me down. And I remember thinking, well, that was fun, and that's definitely a commercial I will never book. And then 2 days later, my agent called and said, you booked it. And I'm like, you're kidding me.
That's cool. I love how, like, when there is no ache and when it is a little bit throwaway, Andy, that it does tend to just align and shine. There's something to be said about this. And I don't know about you, but I know for me in the game of nowism, perhaps for you in the Manifestus Cafe, that like teaching the art of, you know, the let go or the surrender or allowing is tricky business. You know, we naturally have an allowance on certain topics when there isn't an urgency, when there isn't a huge emotional charge under having something or getting something. You know, then that's when we rendezvous with the car park, or, you know, you find the money on the street, or, you know, something happens with people. You know, like there is something so easy about that. There's something easy that, and we get supported when there's ease and flow. It just seems to rock up. But when there's an ache, it seems to be held at arm's length, and the universe is laughing at your vibrational offering, which is saying, this is really hard to get, this is so hard to achieve, la, 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 la. And then it has to give you that experience. It's such an ironic cosmic joke, you know?
Yeah. I know okay, so for those listening, when you get into this playful state and you start asking the universe to surprise and delight you. Universe, surprise and delight me today. Show me, you know, whether it's a compliment, whether it's a smile from a stranger, whether it's someone, you know, pays for your coffee when you're standing in line. And so I remember before COVID, I was in LA doing a one-day workshop in Long Beach, California. And I remember I finished the workshop feeling great. You know, I'm really buzzing high. And I drove to Long Beach. I drove to Venice Beach. I wanted to check out Venice Beach. And I remember thinking, universe, surprise and delight me. Universe, surprise and delight me. Now, I'm going to a place where there's a lot of surprise and delight already happening. But if you're not the energy of it, if you're not looking for it, you could be in Venice Beach and just see have the worst experience. So I'm like, universe, surprise and delight me, surprise and delight me. So I'm cruising down Venice Beach. It's the sun's getting ready to set. You know, there's street performers performing, people selling T-shirts. It's just a scene. And there's this band playing on the sidewalk. They had a drum set out there and a bass guitar, and people were dancing, and I started dancing around, and I'm like, thank you, universe. You know, I'm dancing, the sun's setting. I just had a great day. The band finishes playing, and it was like their finale. And then there was just probably like 4 or 5 of us who were dancing around, and I was one of them. And then we all kind of looked at each other like, what do we do now? And we all said, hey, well, thanks. Hi, that was a wonderful dance. The band was amazing. I put some money in the hat. And then I turned to this woman, and she smiled, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she said, has anyone ever told you you look just like Andy Dooley? And I was like, what? And in my mind, I froze for a moment. I'm like, do I say something funny? Do I say something serious? Do I just answer honestly? Like, how do I respond to that? And then I think I said, no, who's Andy Dooley? And she's like, huh? And I said, yes, I am Andy Dooley. She's like, no, you're Andy Dooley. I get your emails. And I'm like, what?
That's so fun. Oh my God. Everywhere you go, people know your name. Andy Dooley.
It was really one of those, but think of the timing that I would be there, that she would be there, and that we would be dancing at the same time, and then we would meet. And then we went out and we had dinner, and we watched the full moon come up on the beach. I mean, we had a magical evening, and it was like, wow.
Surprise and delight. Thank you very much. Standing ovation from the universe. You nailed it. Surprise and delight. So good.
Yeah.
That's what you asked for. Yeah.
That's what I asked for, and the universe delivers. So right now, the listener, I want to inspire you to get into this playful state. Ask the universe to surprise and delight you. And you bring the magic too. By you saying good morning to people in the morning and saying, hi, how you doing? And you putting that energy out there of just good morning to people, like that can change your whole trajectory of the day, and you'll start manifesting best case scenarios. And then the opportunity, the answer will just fall into your lap, and you're detaching from the desire, and you're just moment to moment. How can I have fun? How can I make this easy? Where's the magic? Like Kat says, turning the mundane into the magic. It's always there for you, and it just tune your dial, shift the focus.
It's beautiful to remember too, when it comes to the desires and all of the things that you want to create in your life, that every single moment of every single day, there's a fertilization process going on. So instead of like trying to manifest the actual things that you want, just find joy in this moment. Be generally grateful today. Find things to appreciate. Look for excuses to feel good. Notice positive aspects. Be in a rhythm and a grace with the universe. Be playful. Be generous. Hold the door open for people. Let them cut you off in the traffic. As you become a graceful, beneficial, beautiful presence in this world, and I say beneficial meaning that you are alkaline in your presence, that you are expanded in your poise, that you are representing possibilities, and you just do it a little bit, a lot, everywhere, all the time. That this is you chipping away at becoming the mighty bigger condition for whatever it is that you want to see happen for you in your life. Every single moment, you are actually, you're clocking up some sort of airtime. You are becoming some sort of condition for manifestation. Manifestation isn't just when you sit down and you're trying to think about making things happen. You're manifesting now, even right now. Every single moment of every single day, your average thought, your average energy is adding to the default setting. And so be easy about manifestation. And instead of having like your eye on this prize all the time and getting a little bit obsessed and feeling that ache, bring the goal back into the present moment, actually, and practice just raising your vibration and finding excuses right here in the present moment. Because as you raise your default energy, the universe will respond.
Yeah. And one of the tools we've been using recently in the Manifestors Cafe is 3 emotions. And one of my members came up with a great acronym for DOG, right? We all love dogs. Dogs are loyal. Dog's a man's best friend. And DOG stands for delighted, optimistic, and grateful. If you can start practicing being delighted, optimistic, and grateful, you are going to start dogging it. You're going to start manifesting more of what you want. And getting back to the theme of today's podcast is, detaching from your desires. So detach from the ache, the suffering. Where is it? Why is it taking so long? And just start being a dog. Be delighted with what you have. Be optimistic about how things are going. Be grateful for what is. Be grateful that you're reminded of, to wake the F up and do these simple things. The past doesn't equal the future. Don't care if it shows up. Just come back to, I am delighted. I'm optimistic. I'm grateful.
Yes.
Cultivate those emotions.
Yeah, and when we let the energy be the reward, when we let the vibration of how we feel be the reward, that's when you become the condition for the manifestation. You know, a lot of the time we get really hooked on the idea that I'm going to feel all these things when I manifest the stuff. And it's really, you've got the sort of the technique backwards. You've got the ingredients and the process backwards. It is feeling first, manifestation second. But how wonderful is it to just start feeling good now? How wonderful is it to actually tap into your radical abundance here and now? How excellent is it to feel the strength in your body temple and the vitality and the wholeness and the wellness right here, right now? Let the vibration be the reward, and then watch what happens. Yes.
Yeah, right now, let's take a collective breath together. So let's, on the count of 3, we'll all take a big breath. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Exhale. Yes, and just feel the magic that is you right here, right now, the creator of all that is. And allow yourself to feel delighted that you're listening, delighted that you're showing up and tuning in, delighted for the magic that's around every corner, every breath you take. Breathe into that delightfulness. Exhale, delightfulness. Now activate optimism. Feeling just a little bit of optimistic. Yeah, it is going to work itself out. Yeah, I'm beginning to feel a shift in my energy. Yeah, I'm feeling into best case scenario. I'm letting something even better show up for me. Breathe into that optimistic feeling of being optimistic and delighted. And now shift into just grateful. Just so grateful for all of it, the contrast, the challenges, for the reminders, for a good night's sleep. I'm grateful for a coffee, for tea, for food. I'm grateful for sunrises and sunsets. I'm grateful for interactions with other people, for music, for dancing. Just flood yourself with delightfulness, optimism, gratitude. Yes, yes, yes. And boom, now you're in alignment.
Oh, yeah, baby. I feel it. It's so good to go on a vibrational journey with the Doolster. Thank you for hosting that. It was very, very good.
Yeah, it's there, available. And like, this is a muscle that we practice in the cafe, and we all get good at it. And having moments throughout the day where you give yourself that kind of gift and focus. And you can do that to yourself. I'd recommend you start to develop that muscle where you can go, you know what? I'm just going to drop in right now and I'm going to activate my dog. I'm going to be delighted. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be grateful. And all I have to do is for a minute or two, and you've shifted everything in your life.
Through the filter of willingness, my friends, because if you're not willing, it won't happen. Through willingness, you can save your present moment from unnecessary negativity. And not only that, throw yourself forwards in the most exceptional way. The universe is looking for something to work with. And it's up to you. That's your number one responsibility, is to give the universe something to work with.
Ooh, it's so good. And you know, another part of detaching, so there's detaching from the desire, right? Focusing on the feeling, not caring if it shows up, being light and playful. The past doesn't equal the future. All your power is now. And here's this: detach from the stories of lack, limitation, separation. Detach from I'm not good enough, or I'm still figuring it out, or I can't do it. Detach from those stories. Come to this present moment and claim your divinity. Claim your light and love, knowing that it's here for you now. This is why we're doing the Wake the F Up podcast, to get you into your power right now. Wake up now. You're dreaming.
So good. And how wonderful to know that you can, in fact, wake up inside of the dream. Think about what you're thinking about. Be a cooperative component to the divine design, and actually wake the F up and not be dragged, people. Don't be dragged.
Don't be dragged into each moment that's unfolding. Be deliberate. I want to feel good. And again, general, feeling good. Go with dog, delighted, optimistic, and grateful. I'm just going to start being a dog. I'm just going to just start dogging it, man. Yes.
Start wagging my tail. Yeah.
Right? There's so many things to wag your tail about.
Yeah, there is. There really is. But you've got to go looking for it sometimes. Sometimes you got to go on a hunt. Sometimes you got to sniff it out. But the truth is that there is a sweetness that's present always. No exceptions. Willingness will save the day.
Willingness. Yeah, and remembering, there's a quote, I just created a meme for this, and I love this Abraham quote, and it said, "You are as God as it gets." Like, just embrace that.
So
you
good.
are God.
Yes.
And we're so caught up in the illusion of, I'm just this little mortal. I'm not good enough. Let that go. Detach from the stories of lack and limitation. When I come up with like stories for me coming up with coffee mug designs, I have an online store where I sell inspirational coffee mugs, funny mugs, inspirational mugs. And oftentimes, I'm putting it out there. Oh, I got a bestseller. Oh, this new design is blowing up. Oh, orders are coming in every day. And one of my newer mugs was an I am affirmation mug. And it was just so simple. It was like, I should do a mug with just I am affirmations. I mean, people start their morning with I am affirmations. People listen to I am affirmations. Like, why not have a coffee mug? And I designed it my own unique way. I did a tie-dye background. I did a simple, clean one too. But and then all of a sudden the orders are coming in. And I'm like, yes, I was playful about creating it. I had fun creating it. I put it out there. And now people are drinking their coffee and tea in the morning with my coffee mugs. It's like, yes, this is so much fun.
So good. So good. And through fun, all of your dreams come true. You got to just feel it first. The manifestation comes second. Thanks for representing, Andy Dooley.
You are welcome.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
Here's to detaching from our desires. Here's to having trust in our hearts. Here's to allowing the fruits that are loaded and coated inside of us to naturally express. May you water your garden. May you pollinate your own isms. And just know that what you want actually wants you. So just get out of the way.
Yeah, I love that. I love taking that deeper. What you want wants you. Like, think about that part, that bigger part of you that wants it for you, that's cheering for you, that's loving for you. That's your inner being, your higher self. And they're holding it. Even better said, not that they want it for you, they're holding it. They already have it.
Yes. Yes.
They're like, we're holding it. You just need to get happy and lighten up, and then we can give it to you.
Right?
Oh my God.
Because you got to be a vibrational match. It's so simple when we unpack it, So, here's to embodying some of the wake the F up bits, Yeah.
Yeah, I think we covered it. I think, A to Z, detaching from your desires. If you have more questions, please email Kat or me. We'd love to respond. Yeah, we're here for you guys. Yeah. We're doing this. We love jamming, but we, love you guys even more for, joining us, liking, subscribing, thumbs up, sharing it, listening, all the things.
Yeah, let us answer questions for you. Bring us topics. If we haven't touched on something and you've got a circumstance or a situation and you want Andy and I to jam it out for you, let us know. Otherwise, please check out andydooley.com with his Manifestors Cafe. You can check all my bits out at catdoors.com. We've got the Game of Nowism. We've got Sunday Jam, vibrational tune-ups, and, we're here. We have this conversation all day long. Yes, we do. It's what we do. We don't have jobs. We do what we are. And Andy Dooley.
That's right. We are plugged in. We're channeling, man. It's happening.
It is. Thanks for being on our channel. Wake the F up. And we'll see you next week, yeah?
Yeah, so that's the show. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe, share it with a friend. We love you. Let's keep creating the good vibes, mastering our state of being, and making the best of everything.
If you want to know more about the great Andy Dooley and the Manifestors Cafe, you can check the links below. If you would like to know more about the game of Nowism and building that toolbox for your consciousness, then check us out. We'll see you there.
Woohoo!
Yeah, baby.